guess. I'm not sure what week it is.
But the sacks are going down every week.
Yeah, I told you, I think, regardless of the outcome of the game the other day, it was the kind of game that we play. You can run the ball in there a little bit. You're not throwing it all the time. I meant what I said. With the two guys we haven't played and tackle with not very much experience, I'm not sure whether or not we were built to go out there and throw it 50 times or 46 times or whatever it was. So I think that's a product of what we did offensively the last couple of weeks, being able to run the ball in there a little bit, especially in that first drive. I think that kept them looking around most of the day.
When you possess the ball for 22 minutes in the first half, does that get fun for you as a coach and fun for your group?
You know what?
As a line?
I don't know that you think about it. I know the defensive guys were hooting and hollering about it. I don't know if we think about it because you're focused about what's happening on the play. Now, when the guys came off the first time, we told them that was the plan. We wanted to keep the ball away from the offense, but I don't know after that whether it went any further. The game kind of got back and forth, so I don't know.
And after that first drive, you guys kind of struggled to run the ball. What changed after that first drive?
Yeah, well, we got the third and one, fumbled the ball. So as soon as you turn the ball over, then the game changes again. Then you're playing catch up. You're trying to make something happen. Then if the first run doesn't work, then you start throwing the ball because you're trying to do something, get a score, stay ahead, catch up, whatever it is. But I think again, when we have trouble, we make mistakes more than anything else. It is not physical. It's not the way the kids work. It's not their approach to the game. I mean, there's nobody could look at the game and think they weren't ready to play. But what happens to you is if you go out there and you make a mistake and they just add up. So that's what really happens. You get behind the chains, you're going to throw the ball. That's what you're going to do. They did it, and they don't want to.
What about Georgia Tech? I mean, how are they going to challenge you up front this week?
Their base defense is similar to ours in structure, as far as being an even front defense. So we've got some time invested in that. Their third down package and their offset package, what they do to try to get you off track on normal down and distance is a little bit different. It's going to take some work. 45 is really, really a good player. Their linebackers run really good. Their nose has a lot of tackles. So there's some guys there. We got to block them. I mean, it comes down to that. We don't throw it, we don't catch it. We got to block. I mean, that's what it comes down to. If we block them good enough, we'll be okay. And if we don't, we'll struggle. That comes down to that every week.
7 games. It seems that you face a different front every week. How is your group adjusted?
Okay, our hardest thing is the brand of football we want to play. We don't see very many people doing it. So we're guessing. We're trying to figure out, or we're trying to find glimpses of how they would play people that line up like we do. But we don't have game after game after game. Everybody's in a spread offense. Thinking about petitioning Paul to do it. From what I see the O-line has to do in those other offenses, I'm thinking about petitioning Paul to do it.
How much do you think I have any success with your petition?
No. And I'm only kidding. I don't really want to do it.
But is this a demanding offense to play in?
It is. We're talking about guys being size and being physically strong and being into it. We're not going sideways. We're trying to block you and pass. We're trying to block you in the run. We're trying to wear you down. We're trying to find a way to be tougher than you are. Whether we are or we aren't, that's the approach that we're taking. And hopefully it'll pay off like it has for us in the past. We've had great success doing it this way and teaching it this way. It's just become harder for us to find examples to show our kids when we're getting ready to play.
There's been a question about toughness on your guys. I mean,
I don't see it. I'm out there with them every day. I'm certainly not going to let it happen in practice. If I see it in the game, I'll pull them. We're not here to keep anybody happy. This is a demanding game. If you don't want to compete, you shouldn't even line up.
Is TJ progressing the way you'd like?
Yeah, sometimes up and down, but I think he's come along pretty good. You know what I mean? The switch from defense is probably harder than I thought. I guess I just didn't realize the savvy that it takes to identify things and do things on the run. Now, he's okay the second time. Hopefully we get the first time in practice and the second time happens in the game. But sometimes he gets surprised by some things. But he is. He's got great work ethic. He's a tough kid. He's strong. He's been out there every day. He's been great.
In terms of getting things on film, like you were talking about earlier, is that the kind of thing that it takes a couple of years in the league to sort of?
No, it won't change. I mean, we know what we're up against. It's not going to change. petition go the other way, they're not gonna do it just so we can see them on tape. I mean, they're not gonna do that, so. I'm just saying, you know, that does make it a little bit harder because of what we're trying to do, okay? Don't get me wrong, right? We have an idea what we're doing every time we go out, you know, but you can get surprised sometimes.
Does it bother you that college football is changing from the way?
Football all around,
Yeah.
you know, but that's okay.
Does that
I'm-
bother you at all?
Don't worry. The pasture's out there somewhere. It's coming sooner than I want it to come, but they're not gonna change football for me. I do, and I don't have anything against the way those guys play. I know how it's evolved, you know what I mean? I think they won't agree with me. I think it takes less coaching. I think it's all about what kind of athletes you get. And that's just my opinion. It has nothing to do with whether that's right or wrong.
You had the Dorian on the other side today?
Yeah, it's the same thing with Dorian. Where are you gonna fit? How are we gonna get you some plays? We had the 80 number out again. I'm surprised you didn't start out with that joke. We had the 80 number out again. I don't know if it fooled anybody, but at least they had to cover him. They better cover him. If he's wearing 80, they better cover
He
him.
has
We're gonna
big
throw.
hands.
Yeah.
Catch the ball.
Yeah, you guys can quote me on this. We're gonna throw it to him sometime.
Coach, thank you.
Okay.